Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. You walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul, baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How explicit do I have to be? I mean, I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.
Oh my goodness. I was going to hit the bell of purpose, but I don't know if I should use the old bell of purpose or the new bell of purpose. Hold on and wait for it. What's going on with you, camera? Quit playing. You know, I think even my equipment is like pissed off because I was gone. Lucy and Ethel, our kitties slash fur babies, didn't speak to us for about 7 hours after we got in. And tomorrow, on tomorrow's show, when I do my little travel log, I've got video and photos and all kinds of little interviews and stuff from along the road for the past 10 days when we were traveling the Carolinas out there, stepping inside the next dream, which is when we retire. So we went and met with some realtors, looked at some properties, found a house I wanted to just like, I did not want to leave. I did not want to get back into the realtor's car. I just wanted to stay there. And cross your fingers, we're praying that our offer is accepted, and that's what will happen. So forever homes, right? That's a big deal to me, you know, having come out of the foster system and being adopted. For the term forever home holds a special place in my heart. So anyway, I look a little underwatery, foggy, but I'm glad to be back. You guys, I really missed you. I know that Thursday and Friday of week before, I had taped some live interviews, but because my two guests could not come early in the morning, we had Keenan. He's on the news in Chattanooga. You remember that show. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so he's on the air the same time I am, but he's on, news channel there in Chattanooga, ABC. And then the next day we had Keynotes, which he's active duty military, has 4 platinum certified hits right now. His most recent is with the artist known as Drake. So he was on. I hope you caught that. If not, get back and catch the replay. 2 great episodes. And then last week, the network E360. Thank you, Aaron Himes, for putting in the best of the best over the last quarter. So those were reruns, but we're back, LIVE today, and I'm Lauren Michaels Harris, and I want to invite you to stay tuned and thank you for being here for today's episode of Bathrobe Moments. At this point of the show every day, I ask you to help me welcome my sidekick. She's been with me all 6 years. This is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She is my version of you-know-who, Ed McMahon. That's right. I got on my Charleston, South Carolina hat today, had me some sweet tea and some shrimp and grits when I was down there. And I didn't dare talk like that when I was in their presence. Trust me. They don't play that. They don't play that because they're like, we don't sound like that. I did it one time at a, what was that? One of those little Waffle House. That's where I did it. And the lady looked at me like, don't do it. So I stopped. Anyway, are you ready? I am about to introduce you all. You may have seen it on my page for my birthday, which was the 4th of July. My 2 favorite gifts, right? I got this. It is my favorite video game of all time, Galaga. And I'm not kidding you. Look at this. I'm going to turn it on. Look, it has everything just like the real game. And if I can just get used to toggling with the middle of a thumb only, I'm going to be able to get, well, I have the high score because no one's played it with me, but you know what I mean. So I got that, and here she is. Oh, my goodness. I'll let you hear her first. That's the new bell of purpose. Now, this bell is not playing. This bell, you guys, look. It says LMH. That's my logo. The bell of purpose has my name on it, and that came from my wonderful husband, Dr. Brian. Thank you so much. And right, and then this thing here, boom. Don't sneak up on me with this in my hand. That's all I have to say. So anyway, here we are. Today I have a great guest. I met him not too long ago, and I don't know how we did not know each other before we did, but the thing that matters is that we do now. I went to his mastermind in downtown Naperville here in the suburbs of Chicago just a few weeks ago and had a great time, so much so that I asked him to come on the show, and he's here today. His name is, well, he's known in these circles as King Joe. We're going to find out what that's all about. Ooh, I got to get used to picking this thing up. This thing is heavy. Is it? You can hear that bell better than this one, right? Right? Okay. Because when I listen to the replay, I'm like, that bell. So anyway, that's the bell of purpose. And that means it is your opportunity. Your opportunity every time you hear it ring. It's not just, some clever little gimmick, although that is a cute one right there. It is an opportunity. It's a chance for all of us to be a part of something greater than ourselves. What I mean by that is when the bell rings, it means that something great is out there. This is really something that we want you to pay attention to, lean into, receive, and take with you. So it's just so that we don't get so busy or distracted and multitasking that, those great, ooey gooey chewy centers, hi honey, find us, but then we miss it. You know what I'm saying? So this is just to say, look up from what you're doing. There's something you might want to back the car up and take home with you. Can I get an amen? Okay, there you go. I just have one thing to say right now before I bring in my guest, and that's good morning, beautiful people. I tell you all the time, and now more than ever, because I was really missing you guys. No joke, real talk. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here and for pouring into me and for allowing us to pour into you. So can I get an amen? Good morning, everybody. So here he comes. I would go ahead and read a bio, but I don't think I got one. Joe, you're in the green room. I see you in there. Did I get a bio from you? Shake your head, yes or no. Oh, he says I did, but it was like this. I think you did. Okay, he ain't quit playing. Anyway, you guys, he can tell you better than I can. And I'm going to show you because here he comes. Put your hearts on the screen and put your hearts into this interview today as we bring to our stage Joe Torres. Okay, Joe.
What's up?
Oh, you got your little Rico Suave I wasn't talking about the shirt or the robe. I was talking about the hair and the gel.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just kidding. I like the robe.
The robe, yeah, this is actually my late father's. He left
That's
it,
a beautiful robe.
and I took it when I went
You
through his
should.
stuff. Yeah, he had two. I gave my brother the black silk one, and I took this one because I had the
Hey,
pink.
Papa had style, huh?
He did have some style.
He was a dresser.
Yeah, he owned businesses. He did everything. He's probably a lot of why I do what I do today, anyways.
Well, then that's the perfect segue. First of all, let me tell you, I'm so excited to have you here, a local Napervillian, and having met up with you, got to know you briefly at your mastermind, and we've been going back and forth ever since. And we're going to be going back to your mastermind here in Naperville later this month, right?
21st.
The 21st, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm excited.
You found us the location, so that's huge because you made it very clear that it was too noisy at the last one that we had.
It was. I was not trying to go home sounding like Louise Jefferson.
Yeah.
Losing my voice. George, okay.
You had a great vacation.
I got to get used to this.
But
nice. Anyway, you like it?
Great vacation.
Yes,
I wore the robe. When I seen that, I said it's called Bathrobe Moments. I might as well wear a bathrobe. Oh. And I've done videos in bathrobes because I want people to know that it don't really matter what you're wearing as long as the content's good.
That's exactly.
Everybody's afraid to go on video.
Well, let me take myself out.
Okay.
They say that works. It didn't work on me. Okay. I don't know. I took everything apart and took it with me and kind of threw it together. This is the first time I plugged it all back in and used it since I left. So I don't know. I look kind of weird in there. Maybe that's just the way I am today. Anyway, so you talked about your dad. Let's get started. I'm going to let you take the floor for a couple minutes and just say hello to everybody. Give them a backstory, if you could, a little Reader's Digest version, if you will, of Joe Torres, where you grew up, a little bit about your dad and what you picked up from him, and we'll go from there.
I grew up in Addison, Illinois, and this is something that you probably did not know, that I moved here because when I was living in Addison, I ran with a street gang, so I got in a lot of trouble, and the rivals that I was going against, they actually burned my house down, and we don't have to go into detail on that. But,
okay, I came back in. It started
so literally I was put in like protective custody, and that's why I moved to Naperville, because I was trying to come somewhere that's good, there's no trouble, even though I still got in trouble here because you guys got Aurora right there, and there was a lot of troublemakers over there too.
Now, Joe, how old were you when all this started?
When I first got in, 14. And then I got out like when I was 17. So I was only in there like really hardcore for 3 years. Got in a lot of trouble, went to jail a bunch of times, and I finally realized, man, I got to do something different. And then that's kind of how I went on the path of starting business. I worked for the last company I worked for was Whole Foods Market, which you guys are probably familiar with that.
Yeah.
And they had a competition, Wild Oats Market. So I was a grocery manager for Wild Oats Market. I was working there for up until 2001, and then I lost that job, and then I had to figure out what I'm going to do, and I started going to business. The first business that I started was selling fire extinguishers door to door.
Oh, I did that. Well, I did fire alarms.
Yeah, same thing. You might have done the same thing.
Them things were like $800. There was
We sold packages from $500 to $1,500. So yes, yeah. You probably were doing the same thing. Around that time, it was very popular.
You got to have some good self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because you get so many doors slammed in your face.
Yeah. Trust me. That's how I became good at sales, is by basically learning how to go door to door. Talking to people cold.
Yeah.
And, so let's go fast forward later. I got married. I have 3 kids. We moved to Naperville. We were bounced back from Naperville, Aurora. But we finally sat and came to Naperville because of the school districts that we wanted to be in, right? And then we started our company out here, which is for some of you guys that are part of our group. I have 2 groups. I have a group that's called Club 100, which is just for business owners to come together, meet up, talk about anything from recruiting, sales to legal problems. That's what a mastermind is. It's everybody has info, everybody's smart. We all come together, talk, and then we all learn from each other. Mm-hmm. So that's really just to bring people together. And then I have my company, which is Smash Media, which I didn't get to say this when we met. Our mission is to smash your competition, choke them into submission until they tap out. So either you hire us or your competition will.
Okay. I get it. And I just want to ask you, because we will be together in person on the 21st for the
Not even joking.
mastermind. And, well, I'm just saying, have you ever had to go to any anger management kind of class?
No.
You ever had a restraining order?
No.
Against you?
No.
Any violent crimes?
Oh yeah, when I was younger, of course.
Oh,
Yeah, I was younger.
So you like to fight?
I'm
Oh,
pretty good at it, yeah. But that's only because I got
everybody's scared of you, Joe. I don't care if you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to turn this off so people can see what you're calling yourself today. Look, you guys. Look at
Joe
this.
Torres.
King Joe. King Joe.
I can tell you where that came from.
That's what we want to know.
Well, I have a page right now, the King of Controversy, but I lost that page. Where the king came from.
Wait a minute.
That I
There's
lost
a story.
it. Like,
there's a story in there.
Yeah. Me.
Why'd you lose the page, Joe?
My profiles. This has got to be the 20th profile that I've owned on Facebook. I get shut down a lot because I go at it with people all online. I used to go at the King of Controversy, and literally people will report my profile. And I don't know if you guys know this because I do a lot. I used to start off social media. I do advertisement now, but I did a lot of social media management, social media branding for business owners. And if enough people report your profile, Facebook shuts you down.
What do you mean report it? Like
say you're fake. I could just go to your profile right now and say you're fake.
Hot.
Like I go to Lauren's
What do you mean
page.
I'm fake?
I just report your profile that you're a fake profile. You're pretending to be somebody else, or that your name's not real. Whatever I had to do.
And they just take someone's word for that.
Yeah, if enough people do it, then what happens? Facebook will send you like a warning saying, "Hey, we've had reports that your page may be fake, so we're going to need you to send you the driver's license to confirm it's you." Well, by the time you do that, you got to send that out, and that still takes a couple of weeks. So usually when that happens to me, I just start a new profile.
Have you ever been in Facebook jail, Joe?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Facebook. I haven't been. I actually the other day, somebody. I don't know. You guys probably get this either on Snapchat. You get a lot of these spammers that say they're looking for sexual activity, and then I posted it on my wall to talk about it, and then I got reported for that, saying that violates their thing, and they almost going to shut me down and go live for 30 days. So I literally had to like retract it or not retract it, but I literally had to tell Facebook, no, I don't agree with this. Then what they did is they go back, they look at it, and they say, okay, you're good.
Okay. So let's talk about this. I was joking about it, but it is an important thing I'd like us to talk about: disrupting.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's what you just described. Is you'd like to disrupt things. So let's talk about that. There's so many different ways to get your message out to the masses.
Yeah.
What is it about the disrupting part that approach? Why do you feel that that's effective for you?
I mean, I've ever since I was younger, I've always had a lot of people would hate on me and basically, talk trash about me. But I think that I learned it from this guy, Dan Kennedy, is where I learned a lot of marketing from. He runs a whole series called No BS book series. You guys can look him up. He has now a group called No BS Inner Circle, which I used to be a business advisor for them when they were the GKIC Inner Circle.
Okay.
And he says that if you don't piss someone off by noon every day, you're not saying much. So when I heard that, I said, I do that on accident. So I might want to, learn what that means. But disrupting means, like, for all of us anybody that's in a business, you go to a marketplace, you're trying to get attention in that marketplace. So you try to figure out ways to do that, right? Whatever you guys' ways of doing marketing. And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is disrupt. Basically saying something that most people are thinking of, but nobody wants to say it. So then just put it out there and then have a conversation, right? So like, here's one I posted in our group Club 100. You might have seen it. I just asked, do women believe that they need a man to be successful? And that caused some questions, and people had to put their 2 cents on there to say what their opinion was. So I like to say things that kind of make people think.
So let's talk about this aspect of it. When you're coming in, because you're somewhat you're King Joe, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, King Joe. So when people are on your page, though, do you feel that it's my way or the highway? Is it double standards? Do they say that? Or you get mad when we say what we want to say, but then you get. So what's the respect issue? How do you keep people from not being just rude, mean, crude, disrespectful?
Well, usually
still being able to get in there and chop it up.
Right. Like I like to instigate it. So that probably the main reason why I got my profile shut down, why I became king, because I was like, well, I had to keep rebranding my name, because once you lose a profile, you got to like now think about what you're going to be named, or should I go by the same thing? But
Yeah.
you lose the username. So I was king. Finally, I had to come up with something that was going to stick, and I started going with the king. But mainly it's the king of controversy. And usually when I post something like that, I'll go in there and instigate it. But if I see somebody now is losing the argument, so they start insulting the other person, that's not the point of an argument. You're trying to make your points, right, back and forth. And when someone loses, they start to insult people.
They take it personally.
Right.
They make assumptions. They do all the things the four agreements instruct us not to do.
Right. Exactly. I love that book. I read it again just recently, and I did a video on it. But going back to the point, so probably the reason why I lost a lot of profiles too is that I would go on news, like anything, Chicago news fan pages, and anytime a story comes up, there we go in the comments, racism, there's some political arguments going on, like whatever the problem is. So I'll go in there and just put my 2 cents in, and it gets to the point where people get mad, and then they start reporting my profile, and they say, oh, this guy's fake, and or they report my post, something that I said, and then that gets flagged. So it's just because I'm so vocal online is why I get flagged a lot.
Well, let me ask. Do you feel that there are other platforms? I never hear people going to IG jail. I never hear anyone going to LinkedIn jail.
Yeah.
Twitter jail. I don't know if it exists or not, but do you find, since that is such a hard place for a person like you to stay out of jail, Facebook,
right.
what keeps you from not making one of those other platforms I just mentioned your primary space?
I do them all, but still Facebook is king.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. That's where everybody's at.
So the others, you never had those issues with the other platforms?
Here's what happened on on Twitter. I've had warnings of that you can't talk, but Twitter, I mean, Twitter's like the worst.
I mean, come on.
Twitter,
look at the stuff Donald Trump used to say on there.
I mean, there's no filter on Twitter. On Instagram, no. I've had on Snapchat, I've been taken out of their story. I don't know if you guys know what that is. On Snapchat, you can create a snap and then you can put it on your story wherever your friends see. Then you could put it on Snapchat's public story, right? Where now everybody can see it, right? That's a smart thing to do because you get a lot of views and you put your profile there every once in a while and you get followers. Like on Snapchat, I get like 50 new friend requests. So they did block me from posting on their story for a year, like for a whole year. And I think the reason for it is because I got so much attention on so many posts I did within back-to-back, like thousands of views per each. They probably thought I was doing something.
So
like a bot. They call it shadow banning.
What kind of stuff are you saying? What is I mean, what's your platform, Joe? What's the thing that you're trying to get people? What are you trying to disrupt?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, we can't call ourselves Club 100 if we're not going to say some real stuff. So the reason why I created that name, it almost holds me accountable and the whole group accountable that you got to say stuff real and have real conversations and debates and whatnot. But back to ask it again. What's the question again? To be clear.
I was just asking though, you know, if there's, let's see, wait a minute. You know, I just turned 59. How you gonna ask me to tell you? If you can't remember, that's a junior moment. You just
overall in life, I like to keep things 100. But since my sector is business owners, specifically small business owners, I would say a lot of controversial things to get their attention. Like, here's a good one. I would say your website is like an internet brochure. Like people just go there about us and then they leave. They never buy anything. They never call you. Business cards. I used to call business. I said business cards. The only people making money with business cards are the printers. Yeah, so they're passing them out, and you're looking for people. But that's not how to build it. You can't build a business by just networking. You got to
you build a business. You build a business by working the net.
Yeah, exactly.
We are instructed to be fishers of men. To do everything. And the thing about it is, if you want something to be meaningful to others, you have to do things that you mean. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You really do. You really do. So, Joe, inside your group and stuff, how long does it ordinarily take a person to understand the dynamics of being there and not think it's just a big shitstorm?
I would hope it's I would think it's right when they get in the group. If they see a couple posts and they do a little scroll, they're going to see a lot of the stuff we talk about is all different topics.
All different things.
But it should offend you. Like if you're not offended by something that I post, then I'm not saying much again. So I say a lot of things that try not to offend you. I'm just saying in general. But if it
Yes.
relates to you, you might get offended.
There it is. That's what my birth mother used to tell me. Lucille, God rest her soul, she used to tell me all the time, Lauren, I don't know why you get so upset about so many different things. Don't you know if something doesn't make sense to you, it's because it ain't got shit to do with you. And I'm telling you, it's real. And you know, I don't think, as far as I know, she never read the book, The Four Agreements, but it's right. You know, taking things personally, making assumptions, takes us and drags us into things that don't even require our DNA at all, anywhere on it. But we choose to be a part of it just to have something to bitch about. So when we come back in a few minutes, but I want to ask you one thing before we go. But when we come back from break, here shortly, I'd like to talk about the kind of people that come to your groups, the kind of people that you do business with. And because I really feel that I like what you're talking about, creating that space where people can really speak what's on their mind. Conversation is not what it used to be, in my opinion. And I think
everybody's offended very easily.
Very easily, just so sensitive, because like you said, why are you so upset if it doesn't apply to you, right? But we're going to get into that conversation, story, dialogue, and all the things that bring us together. When we return with King Joe Torres, the king of controversy, we're going to ask that and other questions. You guys, now's a great chance to put yours together. Also, while we're on break, go ahead and send this out, shoot this out, share it. Don't keep all this goodness to yourself. Pay it forward. We'll be back in just a minute. Joe, get your thinking cap on. I think they're going to give you some real tough questions when we get back. We'll be back in, let's say, 2 minutes. Stay put.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Hey, today is an amazing So that's important. And I love what you said. You know, this too shall pass, people. It's not permanent. Whatever's going on.
Well, all righty. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels-Harris. And before we bring our guest, King Joe Torres, back, I just want to remind you, if you would like to get your dream on the screen, You can contact me and we can help. Electric Revival Digital Content Creation. Our team is ready and waiting to help you. Like I said, get your dream on the screen. All of the content that you see, all of the commercials for the sponsors, everything, including the show openers on most of the shows on our network, come through the Electric Revival door. So if you need more information, just get at me and I'll be happy to set you up with a discovery call, which is free of charge. That's it. Here he comes. Joe is back. Hi, King Joe. So how you been?
Good.
Been a long time. Okay. So good. I wanted to get into your company. Let's talk about your company first. What is it? Who do you serve? Who's your market? Who's your client?
I will say that back in the day I did seminars. I did a lot of seminars in Chicago. We did
like over 400, I think I read.
Yeah, we've done a lot. And when we first started them, we were just learning like how do these processes work, how to organize them, how to get people there, the whole thing. And you know, we started with like a couple people, then it grew. And so I used to teach people how to do what I do for them now. So I would teach people how to do social media. They'd all bring their laptops, everybody. The biggest problem with doing seminars on social media, and if you have more than one, we had everyone bring their laptops, but no one could remember their passwords. So we spent like the first hour just trying to get everybody's passwords, and then they don't know how to find them. So then I had to have people around the audience teaching them how to get in there and how to reset them. It was a lot of work. And so what I've learned when I was doing 1 day to 2 day seminars, I was like, why am I doing all this work when I could just do it for them? It's a lot easier. It's faster. Then they don't have to deal with it. They don't want to do it, most of them, because it's hard. It's a lot of work. And then I got into advertisement. I started doing Facebook advertisement, Instagram ads.
So before COVID, were you still doing live events?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, of course, because, you know, I think I was one of the first ones. Yeah, they were shut down, but I think I was one of the first ones to start doing them again. I found a studio in Aurora that would let me do it, and we started doing them again, and everybody was afraid. You wouldn't have seen me there. I'm going to just tell you. I would have. No, I mean, heck no. No, I was not trying to catch Miss COVID. No.
That was one thing that you might have missed. I was on a TV panel with Dana being Dana, and I was the guy. Yeah, I had to do a interview, and I was the guy that was like 4 kids going back to school, thinking that teachers were essential. So I got to be on that panel, and that was pretty fun. But yeah,
did they try to eat you alive?
No, because there was one lady that was a nurse. She was on my side, and the other 2 were against. So that we got both. But then it was broken into 3 panels. So there was one panel that was just against. Okay. One panel was just for. So we didn't get to argue or anything. Well,
they say, before we get too far away from that intersection we were just at, regarding live events versus virtual, that kind of thing. A lot of people, you know, are just now beginning to understand the terminology that we heard on the front end of COVID, which was new normal. And now I'm beginning, even myself, to understand exactly what that means. You see a lot of things that are not going back to the way they were because people didn't know before. Well, shoot, why are we doing all this extra, spending all this extra when we don't have to? Everybody can do things in a different way, remotely and whatnot. So how is that? Is it, you know, during COVID, people either went out of business or they blew up. How did COVID affect your business?
It blew up because everybody couldn't do in-house anymore. So you had to do online. And the thing was, for years, I was teaching business owners that video's future, got to be doing video if you're going to be online, and that you got to be doing some kind of social media, because what happened to a lot of businesses that weren't already online ready, they literally tried to get into it, but had no clue what they were doing, paying all these different firms to help them. But they should have already had something set up where that was a good part of their business. So then it wouldn't have been a hard transition from getting your customers to shop online for a little bit until everything opened back up. But yeah, a lot of people in the restaurant industry for sure shut down, you know, a lot of businesses. And I said too, and you probably wouldn't agree with this, but if I had a restaurant and COVID came and tried to wipe me out, I would have a speakeasy. I'd have a private password to get into my restaurant. Yeah. I'm not,
you had, like, if you were a liquor store, you'd be the bootleg house.
I would have had to open up. There's no way, because you're taking away my income from my family.
Go around the back. There's a knock on the window. You know your neighborhood had a bootleg house.
Yeah. Of course. Mine too.
Right.
I would have been that guy because there's no way. I don't know how I could. I don't know how most of these guys did it. I don't know how they
You
did
see
it.
what I'm saying? Right. Okay, so you blew up. A lot of us did really well because we were willing to
Adapt.
be flexible and adapt, reset. Exactly. So now here we are, kind of easing out of where we were last year, at least. Not over by far, but better, definitely. What would some recommendations be? And I want to say this right here. One of the things I really admire about you from the very beginning was that when I saw your group and stuff and saw that you had the mastermind and I saw that it was free, that I'm a big proponent of giving value, and more value. If I promise 100, I want to deliver 500. And I think you're a man of the same mindset. Before we go anywhere else, why was it important to you that your mastermind was free? My mastermind is free. And why is it, did you find that a lot of people are more suspicious of something that is free than they'll go and drop, you know, $100, $300, whatever the case may be, and never raise an eyebrow, but let it be free. And they're like,
Well, I think one of the reasons why I have it free is because of the COVID. People already don't want to come out as it is. But I will tell you this. Going back to doing seminars, we started charging not because we were trying to make money, but because it got more attendance, right? So if I'm going to do a big group setting, like we're talking 50 plus, 100 plus, sure, I'm going to charge because I want to fill the room. But for my mastermind, I always limit it to 20 people, 25. So there's no point of me trying to make money of it. A lot of times the venues are free. So why am I going to try to make money off just a gathering of people to talk, right? Have a discussion, right? Now I do have a group that have pays that is separate from that, but that's because we're going to go over stuff and we're doing advertisement and we're doing things like that. The mastermind is more like an open forum for people to learn.
Right.
Just to come and learn. Yeah. And you get some information. Like the last one you came at the end, we talked about Clubhouse, which I heard about Clubhouse. But I'm like, here, when it comes to social media, as soon as a new one comes out, everybody runs to it thinking like that. Oh, if I just get on there early,
I'll be a star.
I'll be a star. Yeah, not
Cindy
true.
Brady.
Not true. Yeah, because it don't matter what platform you're on. You're gonna get attention. You're gonna say something's gonna get attention or not. What I learned about Clubhouse from our group is that everybody's on it. So now we're using that platform, just another way to get all of our members on there to talk. That's it. To have a discussion. Because that's ultimately what I like. I like the discussions.
I do too. Now you just mentioned attention. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the difference between attention and engagement. How a lot of people, you know, they don't understand the conversation. They think that, you know, and you do. I got to admit, when I first started in this career, I'd see people that were viral with certain things, and I go, but what
are they saying? What are they doing?
But everybody's like, I mean, it's just like thousands and thousands of people, hearts and things are flying out through the screen. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. So talk about that. Why do you say some people are able to become viral and have hundreds of thousands of followers and with no message? I call that 0-calorie content. It is like, if it were food, it would be styrofoam. Right. No color, no smell, no taste, no nutrition. Yeah. But nonetheless, there they are.
I think a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of them pay for it. They're paying for that attention. And like, there's a lot of guys that will pay
to get all those people there, you mean?
Yeah. They'll pay for followers or whatnot. But here's the thing too, what I learned.
But that doesn't make the people show up and watch live.
Right. Oh, well, if they're on live.
Yeah, I'm talking about when they're live and you're going, okay, and you're watching, because I've gone and tried to say, let me see what this guy's doing. Look at all these people. He's got 400,000 followers.
Right.
And you go in and it's nothing. Over and over.
When I used to do webinars back in the day, because I don't do webinars anymore, but when I did webinars and we were trying to get people on there live, we promoted it a lot. So for what I could say for these guys, they did a lot of promotion up into that. If they're getting that many views, that many followers, they're doing a lot of places where they're posting that content. It's not just on Facebook. Like me, I was just teaching on Clubhouse. If I do a video on Facebook, or it doesn't matter where I do the video, I'll save it to my camera roll, and then I'll share that on YouTube. I share that on LinkedIn. I share it on Snapchat. I share it everywhere because one piece of content goes everywhere. But you brought a good point, though. Would I rather have followers or would I rather have engagement? I'd rather have 200 friends and get 20% of them to give me engagement than to have 2,000 friends and get and you get nobody on there, right?
Nothing. I am always amazed and always surprised. I don't know why. It happens every time when you go to someone's page or even websites and things where it's just beautifully done. You can tell they put a lot of money into it. And then you start scrolling down the Facebook page and there's not one heart, not one like, not one comment, over and over and over. It's like a graveyard.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. I'm like, does the person whose page this is not see this? But I'm a firm believer is if I wanted to just have a conversation by myself, I don't need to follow you on your page. I could just sit in the closet in there.
Yeah.
I could, stand in the corner over there, or, I'm to go sit in my car alone and have a conversation by myself.
Right.
So what do you feel some of us need to do who are having trouble understanding how to have that conversation, whether it's you have a product or a service? Is it important if you're in business to still know how to have a conversation?
Yeah.
Or is it, you see what I'm saying? Because conversation is story oriented, but a lot of people are data oriented, numbers and stuff. So talk about that if you could.
Well, there's a quote, this is documentation beats conversation, right? You've heard that before.
Yeah.
And that just means that all talk, like, for example, I don't look at other people's stuff and I see them getting a lot more views, a lot more likes. Cause at the end of the day, I don't know if they're even making any money. And there was like, if I go way back when I first got into social media, there was a guy that had way more engagement than me. He had way more followers than me. He had way more people getting on his lives. And then me and him had a conversation on the side. And I said, okay, well, are you selling them something? Or I don't get it. Like, what's the end result? What are you trying to get from it? And that was the thing. He wasn't selling anything. So that's why he had more engagement, because he wasn't selling nothing, right? So you're going to get less when you're trying to move a product or service, because only the people that are watching you and paying attention to that segment are the ones that want to buy. But to get even deeper into the conversation, most business owners are not even connected to targeted people. They're just connected to everybody. But they don't even have a defined target of who they're really trying to serve. Like, are you trying to serve women? Are you trying to serve men, married couples? What is it? Mm-hmm. Because then that's who should be watching you. Mm-hmm. And then all the topics you talk about should be for them. So for me, like, I'm mostly friends with business owners. Every once in a while, someone will be my friend and I'll find out they're not a business owner. And they think it's an insult. They're like, oh, so what? I can't be your friend because you're not a business owner? No, it's just most of my content is for business owners. I don't want you to be bored. You know what I'm saying? I want you to learn from it.
So do you find, Joe, what about when, are you one of those people, I'm just keeping it real, are you one of those people that some people just, they don't care, there's no vetting process, they don't want to send someone to a better place, a better fit for them,
right?
Kind of like what you were just talking about. You're concerned because I don't want you to be bored, this sort of thing. Some people don't care. As long as you're here.
They just want the fake likes. That's what I call them.
But why is it that some of us are so gullible, Joe? What do you think that is? Because, you really can't blame the people that are pulling it on people, because if they're thinking, if it's not me, it's going to be somebody else.
Well, like, I've gone at it with a lot of the gurus. And if you don't know, if anybody doesn't know what a guru is someone that gets online and teaches all day and sells programs and sells you the 5 steps to do this, 7 steps to do that, whatever. I've gotten a lot of arguments with you guys because I used to be those guys. I used to sell programs because, again, what they care about at the end of the day is sale per engagement. If they get 100 views, they're just trying to get sales out of there, right? And I think the reason why people fall for it, because we all believe that if it's a crowd, it must be legit. If a lot of people are checking that person out, that person must be legit. That's not true. I can tell you a bunch of seminars that charge $2,000, $5,000 to go into the room, not worth it. But if you get enough people to do it, it's kind of like the fly to the light,
Yeah.
They're all just swarming because they see other people swarming.
And you're absolutely right. Matter of fact, I'm ringing the bell, because when I was, like 100 years ago, when I was in my 20s, I was in retail and I managed a Jeans West store. And I used to have my people, when the mall was dead, I would have my part-time kids fix the racks right by the door, the entryway, and just sit there and hold stuff up to each other like they were shoppers. And everybody would come everybody would come in
Right.
that was walking by because there was nothing going on in any of the other doorways. So, oh, what's going on over there? They must have. And you're right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing on the freeway. When you think it's a 9-car pileup and you get up there, it's a flat tire because everyone had to.
Everybody look. Yeah, exactly.
Gawker syndrome.
There's a quote that I came up with years ago, which you might think is funny. You might not. If you continue to follow the masses, you'll continue to be broke asses. Stop following the majority. Stop following the majority. Like, I look at every industry, even when people hire me as an advertiser, they want to right away tell me what everybody's doing in their industry. That doesn't matter to me. We want to do the opposite, because just because we see them getting engagement, we don't know how much they're making. We don't know their budget. We don't know what their conversion is. So that don't matter to me.
Right. They might not even be making money. They might be trust fund, baby.
That's 100% true. I've met a lot of guys that have got good followings, big followings, but they're not making no money with that following.
Not a dime. I mean, not a dime. Almost.
Nope. Like we'll use Instagram as an example. There's a lot of people that call themselves Instagram influencers. Well, that's great. You got 100,000 followers, but you gotta go look at the engagement. If they post and they're not getting that much engagement, then they're not really an influencer. They just have a lot of followers. Speaking
of engagement, and actually speaking of, I just looked down and remember I need 30 seconds real quick, Joe. I won't make you leave.
Okay.
I got to do a product placement thing or I'm going to lose my little V8. I just want to say, I actually do love this product, and I drink it not because I have to, but because I want to. Why? Because it has 2 servings of vegetables, not 1, but 2. I always will grab something, even if I eat half an avocado or something, I'm not getting enough. So this is what I do to help support my need to be as healthy as possible. Only 60 calories per can. So ask yourself, after you have that soda or power drink, oops, I could have had a V8. Get yours today. And if you don't know how, it's in your grocer on the shelf.
I'm sorry. Did VA call you?
It's not finished. It's not finished until I actually.
There you go.
Okay, back to you, Joe Torres. What would you say is the most prominent downfall for young business owners today? What is it when let's say I start a business 30 days ago? What is the first thing? Can you give us 3 things that people do wrong in the first 90 days?
Well, yeah, I tell you right now. First of all, I'm telling you, I learned it from the guy, Dan Kennedy. They don't really define who their target is. They don't really know who they're even trying to get first. That's
so the avatar and all that.
They need to know exactly who they're looking for, because then that helps them figure out what platform they should be on, where they should be spending more time, where they should be putting content, where they should be putting offers, that kind of thing. I would say these are the 3 things we always talk about. Pick a target, create a message. That's another thing. No one takes time trying to create a message.
No.
They're just talking, right? What's your signature? What are you known for? What are you going to be talking about? And then the last one is what media to choose. I think everybody thinks like I've done videos where I talk about 7 deadly sins that business owners fall for. Business cards is one of them. Table events. I know a lot of business owners in the beginning, they do table events because they're trying to get their name out there. They're too busy trying to build their brand versus making sales. You can build the brand. That's just going to happen naturally as you make sales. But you can have a nice brand that everybody in the area knows, but no one's buying from you. Right?
Or they're buying it once and never coming back. No brand loyalty.
Right. They
and
might have
loyalty comes because of the relationship.
Mm-hmm. They tried you out, they liked you, and then that was it. They never came back again. So I would say figure out who your target is, core for sure, and media. And these are important because in the 90 days, business owners do it backwards. They look for media where they can promote themselves. No clear message, no clear target who it's for. They're just talking online, waiting for somebody to inbox them to say, hey, I want to buy from you, which it never happens that way. It
never happens.
No.
And the relationship is so important. So Joe, man, I had a good one too, and I was too busy looking at that VA can. I know. So for people who are just getting started, this is when you said find your market, and I said avatar, who's your target market, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people will say, when you say, so what do you do? Or who do you serve? People who, anyone who, it takes them 20 minutes
Right.
You ever heard where they say you should be able to describe what you do for people in 10 words or less? How do you feel about that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It should be simple. Less is more, especially when you're
So, Joe,
talking.
what do you do for people?
Say what?
That's 2 words. You got 8 to go.
Oh, you talking to me?
Ain't no other Joe on the
I
screen. You're the only
said
one.
mine. Smash your competition, choke them into submission. It might be 11 words, I think.
Okay. And then people say, now that's great. But you see, they go, well, how do you do that?
At the end of the day, I'll make it very simple. I do only advertisement now, Facebook ads. So I do everything from write the ad, set it up, pick the target, pick the photos, you name it, test it for 30 days. Like I literally run an ad for 30 days for a business owner. And then after that, if they want me to keep helping them, I can. And they could put me on a monthly thing where I just keep managing it for them. Because some business owners are too busy to do it. But what I think I do specifically is I get through all the mistakes. Because people do Facebook ads now, but they mess up. They spend $1,000 or more. It doesn't get results. So then they give up. But you don't want to do that because Facebook is still king. And if you want attention, we can pick anything. We can pick any market.
And the ads are all about the numbers because the numbers tell a story. Yeah. See, I've just recently started working with an organization because it was time. They told me flat out, Lauren, you got a lot of great products. You got a great message. All that stuff's together, but you still are under we know this from what we see, that you think you run your business. I said, well, I do. And they said, no, you don't. They said systems run businesses and people run systems. And so, because the numbers, when you talk about Facebook ads, it's about the click-through rate, the price per click. What are they thinking?
How many transactions?
What's not working?
What converted? Yep.
Small changes. Okay, so let's talk about that. Facebook ads. You specialize in Facebook ads. Now, I used to think a couple years ago, as recently, I would think that I only needed Facebook ads for like the Power of We Symposium, or if I had one of my big events happening, I would do that. And now tell people what a Facebook ad looks like. Is that the thing we see when we're scrolling and it says learn more or sponsored? What's the difference between those two?
Well, you might have some ads that are what we call boost. I will never, and I know a lot of business owners do this, they boost it. And
I heard you should never.
Yeah, never. Because Facebook, first of all, Facebook's promoting that to you. Why? Because they know you don't know much about advertisement. Mm-hmm. So then they put together a little like dummy ad for you and it looks kind of cool. And then they'll tell you, boost it. You'll spend the money on the boost, but that's going just to your friends. Or I mean, it's going to your followers and your friends' followers, right? It's not targeted. There's no real strategy to it. It's just throwing it out there like spaghetti on the wall, right? So when it comes to advertisement, like we'll use a good example. I'll help a client. Some clients want to just be local. They just want to get in the area code of 15 miles, right? Okay. I call it own your zip code. Some want to do a launch or they can sell to people throughout the United States. Great. Whichever one we decide, but we'll use the United States one. We'll run an ad. We'll go throughout the whole United States. The ad will start getting response. So what I do is I go in there, I look at where are we getting the response, what age groups, what states. So let's say that we're, for whatever reason, we're getting 32-year-old women from California to buy. I don't care why. That's what we're changing all the attention for the ad to go to that because it's already proven. The numbers are there. We don't need the other states. We only can stick to that one. We've done that before. If it's a local, it always comes down to how much we're paying per conversion. So let's just say we're paying $2 a conversion, $20 after we get 10. That's great. How many of those 10 are we converting into a paid customer? Now we know our numbers and now we know how much we can afford. Now it's not an expense anymore. Now we're almost putting more advertisement out because we already know what we're going to get. We already got the result.
So Joe, should a person, and this is where Shakespeare said it best, you guys, to thine own self be true. This is one of those important intersections where you have to say to yourself, you know, maybe I'm just not good at this. And I know for a fact, I love words. I love them, but numbers, to the left. Bye, Felicia. I'm serious. I just never have. I got to bring. Why don't I just bring that closer?
Business owners need to outsource. That's for sure.
That's my point.
They got to outsource.
Okay, but how do we know? I'm choosing my words wise. Okay, screw it. We're almost out of here. How do we know the real deal from the bullshit artist? Because we don't know anybody talking that language.
Results. Here's one thing that
they can show me anything, Joe.
This is one thing that there's one thing. Most people that do the type of business that I'm into, they don't guarantee results, meaning you're going to pay them. And if they get a result, good. If they don't, sorry, right? From the guys that I follow do marketing, mostly, even the guys that sell programs, which I'm against programs, they at least guaranteed their programs, meaning you're able to use them for 30, 90 days. And if you thought they were crap, you send it back to give you your money back, right?
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. If they can't get you for me in advertisement, if they can't get you a result within $10, they're not going to.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing. No, because and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Because some of them will see, they know you don't have your messaging down, but they know if they tell you that, you're going to go have to get that and then maybe not ever come back to them.
Right.
Or whatever. So they're going to act like you have everything. And I don't know why it ain't working, but they already got their money.
Right.
So, Joe, on the screen right now, we have your Facebook, Club 100 Illinois. Is this club just for people that are in Illinois?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, because we meet.
Because
So
it's live in person.
Right. Now, is there some people in the Facebook group that's not from Illinois? Yeah, but if you want to be part of the Club 100 meetup group, yeah, you got to be in Illinois.
And this one?
And that one's for everyone. Even though it says Illinois, that's everywhere. So anybody can go there, and anybody from all the United States can go there and get more information on how they can get into advertisement. And the beautiful thing about Facebook ads, if you do a Facebook ad, it automatically creates an Instagram ad for you.
I'm going to give you a second here to have yourself your very own King Joe Torres / Jerry Springer moment, where I'm going to jet out for a minute and let you just speak to the audience and just let them know if, what's on your mind, what's on your heart. And if there's anything that, you want them to know about you, as far as, hooking up with you, and finding out where you might be able to guide them to a better version of their business, of themselves, of their messaging, whatever it may be. I would like give you that opportunity. So I'm going to duck out real quick.
Okay. All right, everybody. So he kind of asked a bunch of different questions, but I'll make it very simple. I think what I try to be known for, at least when it comes to the business sector, and this is probably why I got in a lot of fight with gurus and I got in a lot of fight with guys that host seminars. Because at the end of the day, information is great, and we can get access to information anywhere. You can go all over YouTube right now and get information on anything, from Facebook advertisement to how to set up websites, you name it. So a lot of the things you can do by yourself. And I tell people, like even Facebook advertisement, you can go do it by yourself. The only reason why you would hire a firm like us is because you don't know how to do it. You don't want to spend a lot of time and money trying to figure it out. And you maybe don't even have the time. So a lot of things that I think the biggest challenge for business owners is they don't know how to manage the time they currently have. Like there's two quotes that I use a lot, and it offends some people. If you're not making at least $100,000 a year in your business, you have a hobby. And if you're not making at least $1 million plus in your business a year, then you have a job. So most business owners start off at the hobby level where they're trying to get it to make a decent income. And the reason why they don't is because they spend more energy and time on everything else but income producing activities. They do not do things that are bringing money. And if I don't like doing it, kind of like what you said, Lauren, if you don't like doing it, then hire someone else to do it, because it's got to get done, right? If you don't like numbers, if, like, for example, if you don't like making phone calls, there's two options. You can either use a service that I talked about our last meeting, Call Loop, does it automatic, or hire somebody at, not a lot of money to do it for you, because as a business owner, we're limited to so much time. And until we figure out how to expand, how to outsource and how to create systems that other people can run for us, we're going to be slaves to our business, pretty much.
There you go. And like we've all heard, if you are doing something that brings you joy, if you're doing something that matters to you, it makes you happy, you never have to worry about working another day in your life.
Bing! I knew it was coming.
Okay, and that's the truth. Joe, King Joe, Joe Torres, King Torres. I think I've hit all the options there. I want to thank you so much for coming today and pouring into us.
Thank you for having me, Lauren.
That's right. And you guys on the bottom, tickering down there, Smash Media Illinois on Facebook. But then we also have the other one, which is this one.
Club 100 Illinois. Yep. If you guys are local business owners and you want to come out to our next meeting, we're going to all be there.
Sure are. Sure am.
Sure
will be.
Sure.
There you go. From the South, where I was just in. Thank you again. And now from me to all of you all, thank you so much for showing up every day and making me accountable to you. And I really appreciate everything you bring into my life. I've missed you guys for the last week and a half. And now, but some things never change. I'm going to say what I always say. Get out there now and do what we do. We love up on every situation and every person that we encounter. If we just make it a daily mantra to leave something or someone better than the way we found it, it is what will change us and give us the best version of ourselves, therefore the ability to live the best version of our lives. Take that with you. I plan to see you here, God willing, tomorrow morning. I'll meet you right out front on the porch for our next episode of Bathrobe Moments. Joe, thank you so much. Thank you. You're welcome back anytime. I'll see you soon.
Yep. See you
Call
soon.
me. All right. You guys have a great day. Be the blessing you'd like to receive. See you tomorrow.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign.